Hello there. I'm going to be doing a takeover of Gear Raid 1 here, still on the same account, so Brad's account here. We have one slight problem that I'll have to see with him, is he doesn't have skills on Magda or Boreas. And while this probably will not be an issue for 22, it is almost certainly going to be an issue for anything higher than that. But, you know, we'll figure out what we can do here with what we have. We're gonna drop in Magda and what's her name already? Dallin. Followed by our Boreas. Vierna. Beelzebub. And we're gonna pop our ultimates here to start clearing up everyone. Vierna should clear out most of this. We'll drop in our Artemis up here to have more consistent anti-healing, and finally Ardea on the right side. Forsaken Totem's gonna come out. We're gonna pop our Artemis at this point, and we're gonna hold off on other ultimates until these waves come in to maximize that effectiveness. Alright, everyone's heading in nicely here. And a Forsaken Totem is coming, so this is just about the perfect time to pop everything and make sure that Boreas is applying his anti-heal to everyone. And as soon as we have enough of these that are getting fairly low life and we're getting towards the end of Boreas' ultimate, we'll let loose with Vierna's ultimate and clear out any stragglers. Vierna. We missed one, but dealt with fairly quickly. New wave of Scourges coming in. And we're going to mostly repeat the pattern that we had last time. Pop an Artemis ultimate to let this wave spawn in a bit. And make sure that these Scourges don't heal up too much. And as the wave starts walking in, and Artemis ult nears the end, we pop our Boreas, our Magda, our Beelzebub, draw everything in, and before Beelzebub ult ends, we're going to pop our Vierna to take out anything we possibly can. We're also going to pop our Artemis ultimate to make sure that any of these heals does not actually heal them up too much. And normally, Boreas will be back in time to continue with the anti-healing uptime. So pop Boreas. Wait until Magda and Vierna are a little bit closer to ultimates, and these Scourges come in before popping Beelzebub. Pop Magda. Vierna. Artemis. And I don't know if that wiggle room of damage we have there is enough at this point 22, managed to clear 23. I think we might need to drop Dallin and get an actual tank in there, but we'll see. We will see.
Don't be blinded by the momentary victory.
But at the very least, that's 22 down. We will also be doing one more thing here that I should have done previously, but let's drop our Dallin first off. What tank options do we have here? Is there someone that could realistically be useful as a short? Can't really go with more cultists. We're kind of in need of all of our cultists at this point. Not sure the buff on Trusk is going to make him actually worthwhile, but then again, our tank options are fairly limited. Constance would just get clapped by the boss if we did have to place her. So, I mean, he would probably survive if we did have to place him. So that's good. And I guess we're just going to go with him. It's not like his block will really matter, so we're going to go with the North's Will to make sure he survives a bit better. And I forgot to cut Discord. I want to try to see if we can't find a way to get...
Pain is the greatest pleasure. You will...
to get a buff on Ardea. Because she's, at this point, the only... she's the only damage dealer that really wouldn't have a invigoration buff. So if we drop that on Nastia, we may be able to do something with dropping units and changing stuff around to give a little bit extra damage to the fight. Although at this point Magda doesn't have that buff either. Artemis is there, he's not buffing enough people to make that work. Beelzebub would, if I dropped him in earlier. You need to rethink my seat. You know what, we're not placing Morrigan either, so we're going to unequip everything from Morrigan. We're going to go to Wings of Grace and do kind of the same concept, just grab any random pile of pieces and use that to give us our buffs if we need them. Alright, because now things have slightly changed. We are going to drop Beelzebub in a little bit earlier. Reckon the important one here is going to be Vierna damage-wise. Lack of the cost generation is really going to mess with us.
Shall we?
But that was probably the right sequence to do this with. Pop all of our ultimates besides Vierna.
Not even death will save them.
Pop our Vierna. Deleted a few, but we are left with some stragglers, which is not ideal. At this time, who has invigoration? Right. Let's drop in Morrigan, recall her. Drop in our Artemis.
Mother's blessings upon
At
you.
this point, we're going to drop in our Ardea on the right side here, and then buff her with Nastia. Still don't need to take any actions for now. Those Scourges are starting to really hurt. Drop in our Ardea. And we're going to Artemis. Beelzebub, Boreas, Magda. Buff our Ardea, and we have everyone that's fully buffed with Invigoration sets. And at the end of Beelzebub's ult here, we're going to pop our Vierna, do as much damage as possible to these guys, and clear out a little bit more. I should find another melee unit to slot in here, I guess. Or I could gear both Nastia, and the problem is if I do that I lose Invigoration. We're just going to have to power through with this, really. Pop Artemis to lessen the heals that those guys are going to be getting. We're not fully killing waves anymore. And to be honest, we're probably going to pop all of our ultimates to clear out this wave, because waiting for this spawn would be a lot of damage for the wall for no reason. Although maybe that was the right call, because we shredded that entire pack, and then the next one is already on its way. So, probably could have made better calls there. We're going to wait until the Scourges move forward a little bit. Drop our Wood Elf and pop Artemis. Also going to pop Elowyn ultimate. Are you kidding me? Pop Beelzebub, Boreas, Magda, pop our Vierna, cleared out a few. Well, that is not enough, and I think the wall is going to crumble before we get everyone out of the way here. Pop Artemis. So I almost definitely should have waited for that wave to come in. Even if we had to sit around with a few Scourges for a while. Because we're not going to clear all of this out before we're dead. Alright, let's restart this. Let's think for 2 seconds. Is that Invigoration really worth it, or would I be better off with another fighter? I could drop an Eris in here. I could also just go skill up Magda and Boreas and see how far off we are then. Let's see how far off we are if we just do a normal rotation without skilling people up, and we'll decide after if we want to actually commit to skilling up champions.
Bow to your queen, mortals.
Shall we?
Alright, Boreas. Pop our ultimates here.
and be damned.
Our research curses on all who their mortal arrogance will be punished.
Not even death will save them.
The doctor is...
Mother's blessings upon you.
Drop in our Ardea. Forsaken Totem coming in, we're gonna pop our Artemis. Actually, realistically, I should have popped everyone else but Artemis. But here we are. Drop in Nastia to buff our Ardea, recall Nastia.
For their souls.
Feel the flames.
And at the end of our Beelzebub ultimate, pop Vierna. So she does a big chunk of damage. I have some heals going out since we didn't time our Artemis / Boreas ults correctly.
Time for a little nip-tuck. Time for a little...
Send out our Artemis ultimate. Make sure that this pack doesn't heal. And we start chipping away at the life of pretty much everything here.
Feel the flames.
Another Forsaken Totem is coming in.
I am ready.
I think we're gonna let it go through and see what happens. It actually landed on the pack in the back, so that's good. And as this pack is coming forward, we're gonna have to start pushing out ultimates.
Mother's blessings upon you. Feel the flames.
Drop in a Wood Elf.
All lives are precious.
Time for a little...
Drop. Spit out our Artemis ultimate here. And Vierna.
Be damned.
I feel like there's a lot more that should have gone down there, but oh well. Doesn't seem like we're going to comfortably clear this. Doesn't seem like we're going to clear this at all, really. Beelzebub, Boreas, but it's game over at this point. Yeah.
Do not die and be dead.
You're doing it for the sake of it, but
Is that all you've got?
this ain't going to cut it. We need at the very least Magda, because she's the one doing the most damage here. By a pretty long shot. Boreas is severely lagging behind. Let's just go skill them up, because regardless of what happens, these are champions that he will end up using for 24. And the extra penetration increase should help a bit. What am I looking for? Boreas.
The stinging grip of ice spares none.
Alright. Now,
Pain is
the follow-up question is...
You will learn.
Is that buff to Ardea really worth losing out on potential damage? And also, if I drop this tank, you could get another fighter in there, and would that not be more worth it? And
The flames
probably be someone like Eris, but Eris isn't skilled. So really, I don't think there's many good options to slot in. She's just full single target. Yeah, she's full single target. Da, 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 da.
Let's review your medical history, shall we?
Let's try changing something here. Invigoration. And speed. Alright. What if I pass that to HP, drop HP, drop in speed? We got something. He's still tanky, but this time he can actually invig buff one of our 2 damage dealers, which should make this rotation slightly better. Which also means that we can technically
Our research begins.
drop in someone with a bit more damage there. What is...
grip of ice.
Okay, Boreas' gear seems okay.
Death and destruction
Magda's gear is too.
to my ears.
Alright, let's try this. And we go again.
Here we go.
Leave naught but their bones.
He'll get his ult quicker.
So mine to take. Not even death will save them.
Wait. What is Vierna's ultimate, Vierna's artifact exclusive already?
Forsaken me.
Exclusive artifact. Whatever. Potato, potato.
By my decree.
Their
What is
souls
that?
are mine to take.
AoE damage? No. We want attack. Thank you very much. That could explain some of it. No. We already did get rid 2. There we go. Alright. Magda in. Boreas, Beelzebub in. Vierna in.
Souls are mine to take.
And Boreas.
I am ready.
And we pop all of those ultimates.
Die and be damned.
Well, it's significantly better this time because almost everyone's dead. Now peacefully drop in our Artemis. Should be taking very small amounts of damage.
Mother's blessings upon you. The blaze begins.
I am ready.
We're gonna wait.
I am.
And now we're gonna pop everyone. Buff our Ardea, recall Nastia.
For their souls. Our research begins.
Bow to your queen, mortals. Not
Vierna.
be damned.
Artemis to prevent that healing from doing too much, I'll say damage, but that's not what healing does, but you get my point. Damage to our prospects for this run, I should say. Morrigan is going to die, but that's okay. Oh, hey, look at that. She's actually going to do a little bit more damage. Forsaken Totem coming in.
I am ready.
Still not decided if I... You know what? I'm just going to clear this pack out. Sooner the better. We are going to recall Morrigan because she's going to die as soon as the Scourges spawn in. These Scourges will die.
Feel the flames.
Time for a little nip tuck.
Alright, we get our ultimates right about at the right time. Beelzebub, Boreas. Pop our Elowyn ultimate to make sure that everyone stays alive here.
Mother's blessing, not insult me with rabble.
Magda.
Time for a little nip tuck.
Pop our Artemis.
Die and be
Vierna.
damned. Feel the flames.
I think we're doing significantly better than last time. But maybe I'm wrong here. Alright, drop in our Morrigan to start helping with the damage. So every little bit is going to help here. Pop Elowyn ultimate to make sure everyone stays alive. Beelzebub, Boreas. We need to chew through everyone as fast as possible here.
Bow to your queen, mortals, not die and be
Pop another
damned.
Vierna. Sure, that does a whole lot of good, but we're still gonna do it. And Boreas is down. That is less than ideal. Artemis. Okay, Magda, go. We do not have the damage.
All lives are precious.
We don't have the damage at all.
No, I'm not done yet. Mother's blessings upon you.
What we can realistically do to change that?
They have stymied the spread for now.
Well, I'm going to spend some more time messing around with 123, but in the meantime I will probably call this video here. Since I'm seeing we're already going on 30 minutes, and I will probably have to spend a lot of time tweaking minor details before I find something that reasonably works. I'm going to go over the gear real quick. Morrigan is running Wicked Vengeance, Soulbound Arcana, and... well, her exclusive, but she doesn't really do much. She should be running Tear of Twilight. Artemis is running Invigoration and Life Force and a Golden Scarab. He's really just there to keep the uptime on the anti-heal and provide some extra healing. Magda is running Wicked Vengeance, Soulbound Arcana, and a Frigid Flame. Beelzebub is running Invigoration and Calamity. Tear of Twilight. God damn it, Beelzebub. Vierna is running Wicked Vengeance. Sorry, is running Warlord and Soulbound Arcana. I might actually want to tweak her here. That might be part of the problem here. Boreas is running Wicked Vengeance, Soulbound Arcana, and a Tear of Twilight. Elowyn is running Invigoration, the Healer left side set, and Tia's Balm. Ardea is running Wicked Vengeance, Soulbound Arcana, with a Shattered Hilt. And finally, Olague, who didn't see much use, is running Guardian and an Immortal Warrior set, with a North's Will. Some of the problems here are simply that, well, we don't have enough damage. Now, some of this can be mitigated with an Emirate, which would help keep more uptime on Boreas anti-heal, and also provides a little bit more AoE on the left and right side than Ardea does, as well as just in general having a somewhat better setup here. I know I'm doing something wrong with Vierna, so I'm going to dig into that. I do not have her, so I'm not exactly sure of my timings with her, and I need to work on that. I could try dropping Artemis and putting him on the right side over here. He should be able to keep himself alive, and then put a damage dealing unit here. I might end up doing that, which would make some use of Morrigan. The problem is that it becomes much harder to keep people alive if I do that. And then on this, these two units just tend to die if I do go down that path. So I'll be looking into this, messing with it a little bit more in the upcoming, I don't know how long, depending on my time schedule. But in any case, cheers, and you have a nice one.